Yeah. But you mentioned like you get hit on at the doctor, right? Like I'm sure, I don't know if any of you go to like Trader Joe's.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe you get approached. I don't know if you've been approached. Yeah. Maybe, right? You've been approached at TJ's. Times. Okay. So yeah, you can like, I wouldn't say like, oh, you can't go to Trader Joe's in case some guy hits on you. It has to do specifically with these very, very specific environments, which there's alcohol involved. There's partying, there's drugs. People do go to these environments, both men and women, not all of them, but do go to these environments with the intention of maybe hooking up, maybe getting laid, maybe meeting somebody. Whereas nobody goes to Trader Joe's on Tuesday at 3 p.m. like, man, I really hope like I meet a dude at fucking Trader Joe's. Like, no, you don't have that intention in mind. But if you go to a bar and a club and you're single, like there's somewhere in the back of your mind where it's like, oh, I might meet like a really hot guy tonight. Like there is that component to it. And even if there's not, there's a much greater likelihood that, well, it's not a likelihood, it's almost a certainty if you go to a party, bar or club, that a guy's going to hit on you, a guy's going to approach you. So even if you're in a relationship, like guys are still going to hit on you, and you could potentially be put in a compromising position. Also, I don't think any girl has ever gone to Trader Joe's and gotten finger banged by some random hot dude she met in the frozen food section.
Well, I'm hoping people in relationships aren't going to bars and getting finger banged in the bathroom.
No, but the difference between like Trader Joe's, like going out to Trader Joe's and going out to a bar or club is, for example, if you're single, bro, I've seen some shit. I'm sure you guys have seen some shit at parties. Yeah. People fucking on couches in the middle of the party. Yeah. Dude, I've seen some crazy shit at parties, bars, and clubs. So people ain't like, it ain't going down at Trader Joe's at 3 p.m.
My father goes to Trader Joe's to pick up
some
women.
Pussy?
Yes, for sure.
Okay, well, your dad's a fucking legend. Good for him.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's just such a, bars, clubs, and parties are such specific environments where people go with the perhaps anticipation that they're going to meet someone. And I would also add to this, do any of you have girlfriends or maybe guy friends who you've heard that either their boyfriend or girlfriend cheated on them at a bar, at a club, at a party? You guys have friends who have been cheated on, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Well, did it happen at Trader Joe's or did it happen at a party? Oops, I made out with somebody. I was drunk. Oops, oops, it just happened. Like,
I mean, like, it still can happen, period. Like,
sure,
I was cheating on, and had nothing to do with a party, nothing to do with Trader Joe's.
Sure, a girl could download.
But alcohol or anything like that. Like, it was purely just the person.
Yes, it can certainly happen in outside context. Like, it could happen, some guy hits on her at school, or she's answers a DM, fucking Drake slides in. Goodbye, boyfriend.
If they cheat at a party, they were going to cheat.
Yeah, regardless.
Either way.
Yeah.
I think they would have.
Yeah.
And that relationship was not meant to be. That relationship was not secure enough to be something more. They were going to cheat.
So it's like you're putting them in that environment. So what? If they do cheat, that's on them, and that shows who they are.
But has anyone ever made a mistake? Like, people cheat, like they regret it later. But I feel like, and alcohol is involved.
If you know you're gonna be in a relationship, you should know like that you as a person like won't, like, I feel like cheating gets excused as a mistake, but it really isn't. It's something like you're super conscious about, and no matter whether you're drunk or not, like,
there was a thought before.
There's like a thought. Everyone has that thought. You're like, hey, look, I have another person that I'm actually dating, and I'm about to do this right now. Like, you have to do that, yes or no. And regardless of whether or not they do that, yes or no, it just shows whether or not they were going to cheat, period. It doesn't matter whether they're at a club, at a beach, at someone's house. They were going to cheat regardless.
There is a component of cheating, but even if you have no intention of cheating or cheating doesn't occur, well, first off, I would say, if you are kind of putting yourself out there, and you are putting the relationship at risk to a degree, because honestly, all it takes is a really attractive guy to step to you and talk to you in the right sort of way, and maybe you had an argument with your boyfriend, maybe things are a little rocky, and you're going to cheat.
No, I think if you love someone, I don't think you want to cheat. I think if you love someone, you only see them in your eyes.
Do you think someone has loved someone, and so in the entire history of humanity, nobody has ever cheated on someone that they loved?
I feel like there's always exceptions.
I mean, there's exceptions, obviously, like 100%.
Well, I had a friend in high school where we were at her house getting ready, and her boyfriend got in a huge blowout fight. He wasn't really the best to her. They were young, and she went out feeling really bad about herself, and we went to this party, and this guy smooth talked her really well. And she was like, it's the best I've heard, like, in the past. I don't remember what she even said, how long they were together. And then she ended up cheating. And I was just kind of like, okay. So part of it was an accident because he'd smooth talked her really well. And then the other part of me was she was mad at him. So there must have been some intent to cheat.
But you prophesied he didn't treat her right. If you're going out with the intention
of like, I'm going to get payback or it's going to be even, it's like, that is definitely her with her intentions wanting that. Like, I feel like if I definitely wouldn't.
It matters what intention you go out with when you're going out on the town. I mean, most single people are going out with the intention of getting laid. Mm-hmm. And most people that are in relationships, hopefully, are just there to hang out with their friends. Or like, I just know that huge groups of friends, male and women, like if you work at a restaurant, all those people go get post-shift drinks. And that's like part of them becoming better friends. You work with those people, you mingle with those people, and if you're not going out with them, you're not like part of the group as much.
Okay. Look, I think it's really just ultimately also, it's just a bad look. It's a bad look. Hold on, I had, I'm trying to think what I was aiming for here. I lost my notes. Sorry, guys.
It's a bad look to go out to the bars and party when you're in a relationship with your single friends, is what you're saying.
Yeah, because I think single friends are like the worst influence.
Oh, I can attest.
Are terrible influences. Sure. They probably don't.
Well, actually,
let me just finish really quick. Hold on.
Danknake super chatted $50. Cheaters will cheat, but you girls need to concede that going to clubs and bars enables cheating. There is a connection with cheating and living a promiscuous lifestyle while being in a relationship. There's thing you do and don't do in a relationship.
Yeah, I mean, my view is that by doing this, you're putting the relationship at risk, and you're free to do whatever you want. I wouldn't control you. You would no longer be my girlfriend. And a lot of guys, when it comes to commitment, a lot of guys are going to look at a girl that parties in clubs and bars. And by the way, women can feel the same way about men too. So I don't have a double standard on this. There's a bit of a difference because the degree. Hold on.
M. Martin super chatted $50.
Thank you, Martin.
Ladies, the point Brian is making is that you're governed by your emotions.
Is that?
Emotional people make impulsive decisions. You're acting like it's not an epidemic right now. To delusionally believe that you are above it all is just weird.
Your response is to Martin.
I'm kind of confused with what he said, but like.
Well, he's saying like if you're in your emotions, there's an impulsivity there, and if you're drinking, and there's fucking bright lights and excitement, and your friends are amping you up, and you're dancing to the newest.
Those emotions are heightened.
Yeah, you're all amped up,
obviously
and
I
then
think, like if you're in a relationship, you shouldn't be getting hammered like to the point of no return. You know what I mean? Like you should still have that level of sobriety there, so you like understand like whether like what decisions you're making or what you're doing. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the point I was making before the TTS came in is that I wouldn't control a girl. I just would choose not to be in a relationship with a girl that wanted to party all the time.
And that's assuming you don't party either.
Yeah, I don't party either, so I'm not going to be up in the club.
I mean, that makes sense. You guys are
sense,
more compatible if she's not a partier. But if you have guys that want to party, their girls are going to party.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
So, it's weird. Honestly, I think it's weird when you see like couples and shit in the club.
I definitely see that.
That shit.
Yeah.
Why y'all just stay home and watch Netflix? The fuck?
But they're like
with their friends.
They're like devout partiers.
Yeah,
you know?
okay, yeah.
They're out here partying at EOS every weekend.
I feel like too, like the times that I did go out after my breakup, after my breakup, all of my ex's friends, or just because Santa Barbara's a small town, like everybody was there, and if we had been together still and I was at that club and all these guys were like, all of his friends were like looking at me, I feel like they'd also be texting him like, yo, what's your girl doing out here, you know? Like, it's that much more of a look. I don't know, but.
And also, like, one thing I think about is, like, let's say I was in the club at a party with one of you guys, but I was just, like, standing across the way. Like, I was away from you. And, like, I guess if what is happening would make me uncomfortable if I was, let's say I'm not in the club, but let's say I was, but I was at a distance and I was like observing what was occurring. If something was happening that would, like, I would be uncomfortable, I almost feel like you just probably shouldn't be participating in it. Because like, here's the thing, there's some things that might happen and this isn't your fault, but like if you go to like a party or a bar or club, people are dancing and shit, like dudes are gonna like come up, and this is not your fault, I'm not putting the blame on you, but guys are drunk, maybe they get a little handsy, they might try to dance up on you and shit. Like, that would make me uncomfortable if I saw that, even if I'm like, so I'm not there. So it's kind of like, if it was happening and it would make me uncomfortable, I don't think you should be putting yourself in that position. Again, I'm not putting the blame on you, but there are certain realities to going to these type of environments where there's gonna be some, you know, things happen, maybe even not dancing up on you, touching you or whatever, but some guy's gonna go up and hit on you. Like, and if I'm looking at it in the corner, like, I don't know if that might make me uncomfortable, you know?
Well, and also I remember like in our age group, when I still lived in IV and Santa Barbara, a lot of these girls and guys are freshly out of the house and they had they had so many rules over them when they lived at home that now that they're here, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
I can see that.
You know, so if my boyfriend or whatever were to tell me, hey, I'm going out to IV or I'm going out to a club, and I know a bunch of young girls who have always had rules over their heads were gonna be around, I'm just gonna maybe call me insecure, but I'm gonna be like, I already know like what's about to go down, and it does come down to trust at a certain extent, but it's also just embarrassing. It's just like, I don't want to think about it, you know?
Yeah, by the way, guys, get your super chats in. I am going to read them soon. Sorry for the delay on reading them. Just the conversation has been flowing, and we do need to continue with the dating app reviews. I guess just really last thing on the bar and club thing. Have any of you ever dated like a guy who's really protective of you?
Yes.
Like territorial, really protective? Did you like it, not like it?
At times. I mean, there are certain things that I like, oh yeah, that's very attractive, but it depends.
Did you ever go out with your boyfriend?
Yes.
Was there ever a situation where like maybe he stepped away for a sec and then like a guy had approached you or something at a party? Like, has it ever like resulted in a fight or anything? You're shaking your head. Yes, we'll get to you.
Like in a relation or a fight between us?
Yeah, like let's say you're at a party with your guy and maybe he steps away and some dude steps to you.
It has
and
started in a fight.
It started
like
fights.
Like a big one, yeah.
What, have you had an experience similar to that? What about you?
No.
3 weeks, I know, it's tough. It's soon. It's coming.
Thanks,
I feel
I
it. I've got
appreciate
an
that.
intuition. Go ahead.
Yes.
Tell us like the quick story.
Well, mine was weird. It like wasn't really like a club or a party or anything like that. It was more like a kickback, and I invited my boyfriend, and honestly, I was really drunk, so I don't remember at exactly what point he got mad, but he got really mad. And it was weird because it was all my best friends there and their boyfriends was like the entire setting. So like everyone who was there had someone they were with. And I don't know.
Yeah, my fight was pretty bad as well. Like, and I didn't think it needed to be that bad. Like,
can you tell us a little story, like what happened?
I was at a party for like one of my friends, and then we were all there. He was there with me. He was talking to one of his guy friends, and a friend of ours that we both know came up to me, and he completely forgot he didn't know him. He was like drunk, and he like said hi to me, and I was like, oh hey, what's up? And then then like the guy left and he pulled me aside and he was like, who was that? And I was like, oh, it was blah blah blah, like, you know him, like we both know him, he's our friend. And he was like really pissed that I didn't like immediately like call him over, or I don't know, like I didn't make him in the conversation, even though all we said was hi and bye. And we had to like step outside because he got like super mad about it, and it like led to us leaving early and stuff like that.
So what happened? There's
just one of our friends came up to us and that he was just kind of mad that like he wasn't involved in the conversation. I honestly don't know what triggered him, but he was like a whole nother ordeal. Like we got in fights.
So did your boyfriend get sparked up? I'm just confused.
Yeah, he kind of just like got mad about the fact, like the fact that he saw me talking to another guy from across the party like triggered him.
Oh, your boyfriend got mad. Okay.
Yeah, my boyfriend got mad.
And it was a physical fight?
No.
Oh.
No.
Okay, but it could have been.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of fights go down because something, well, not always. Some dumbass could bump into somebody else, but a lot of times there's a kind of a love interest involved. But okay, so I want to ask, at a party, like, has a guy ever crossed the line with you at a party? Maybe got a little handsy, maybe he was a little too forward with how he was speaking to you, maybe he was being disrespectful, called you a name. You know, guys, sometimes, look, no excuse for it, but when people get drunk, sometimes they run their mouth a little bit. Not an excuse, but not, just to be clear, 100% not your fault, but has that ever happened to you? A guy's gotten handsy or ran his mouth a little bit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah? Into the mic, yes. Just I need a yes.
Yes. 100% yes.
Absolutely.
No, not really.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Usually, like every time I've been approached at a party, I like the guy catches the vibe pretty well, like if I'm interested or if I'm not.
Okay,
but
sure.
I haven't gone to a party in a while, so I don't know.
Yeah, and for any of you who have had that situation happen to you, were you like with a guy, like maybe a guy you were interested in? He didn't do it to you, but like some other dude did.
Like were we?
For you, there was that one time
Yeah.
with your boyfriend. So I mean, this is just another reason why. Again, it's not your fault, but like that shit happens, and we like men, we want to like protect our girl. Like we don't want our girl to be in like and again, it's not your fault, but like in these situations, like guys are being dickheads, they're getting drunk, like some of them get handsy and shit. We don't want our girls like being victimized in that way. So it's not, it's like just us wanting to protect you basically. Like it's not some like controlling thing. Like we just want you to be safe, and like, cause we know fucking what goes on in these environments. And more specific, actually, did you want to come in?
No, I was gonna say like, well, if that's the main issue, shouldn't like you as guys be like talking to your friends and being like, why are you guys with those guys in the first place? Guys who get handsy, guys who cross the line. Like you guys should be telling them, because it's not us. We're just there, and if they're the persons who are crossing the line, that's a total it's like an issue with them.
I mean, in an ideal world, yes, but should war not exist? Should crime not exist? Absolutely. Should people not commit crimes? But whether you're a man or a woman, you do need to take some degree of proactivity in the situations you put yourself in. For example, me, even like as a guy, there are certain parts of town, there are certain areas in this country that I'm not going to walk through at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. in the morning. So I think there is some degree of accountability and self-responsibility. Would it be wonderful if there, like I said, there's no crime, no war? Sure, but if I'm gonna maybe think like, okay, if I'm walking in a certain area, I'm gonna maybe take a certain route, or I'm gonna have friends with me, or I'm not gonna put myself in certain positions. For example, if I have like, let's say I have a Lamborghini. I'm not going to park that in a dangerous part of town. I'm not going to park that car in a dangerous. Wait, there's a different way to do this analogy, but in any case, if there does need to be accountability on both sides. Should men be acting like pigs? Absolutely not. Should you maybe not go to certain venues because there's a greater likelihood of getting victimized?
Places do have reputations for sure.
Yeah, like
Certain
I'm not going
bars,
to walk through Compton at 3 a.m. Should I be victimized? No. But is Compton safe now? I don't know. But like there's certain like parts where you just like you need to take some accountability and have agency and be like assess the risk factor and be like, I'm not going to put myself in this situation.
I mean, I think it's a little bit different because that's fear for your life over fear of like maybe a guy coming on to you and something that someone could pull him away. I mean, there's definitely worse things that can happen in bars for sure.
Sure. Well, and just last thing on the whole bar and club thing. And did you want to keep going? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Oh, I mean, it's a public area, so it can't get too out of hand unless there's definitely instances. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but
you guys go out to IV, right? Isla Vista?
Yeah.
You see, I'm sure you see fights every single night you go out. Dudes are getting fucking sparked, getting permanent brain damage. You've never seen a dude knocked out, fucking the ambulance has to come, he's all fucked up. Some dudes, like, people get permanent brain damage, like fighting, getting in drunk fights. Sometimes that's related to,
M. Martin
Thank you, Martin. Thank you, appreciate it.
It's about using your common sense. If a chef cooks naked, he'll get grease burns all over. If he cooks with his chef whites, maybe only his hands get burns. Will it do away with burns altogether? No. It's about mitigation.
Yeah, and I just kind of, I guess, last thing on here before we get to the super chats. Guys, sorry that we're slacking a little bit on super chats. We will get to them. Just the last thing with the bars and club stuff. So, gentlemen, I do not recommend... I think some of you said perhaps an antidote to the whole like issue is, well, just go out with your girlfriend. Guys, do not go out and party with your girl. Do not. It is a liability. Trust me, guys, it's a fucking liability. Okay, I'm going to ask a question just to perhaps prove this. Well, I'll say this. If some drunk dude gets handsy with your girl, she's going to look to you to intervene. And by the way, if your girl, like if you're dating a masculine chick and a dude gets handsy with her, she's going to talk to him and she's going to get aggressive. And if he's aggressive, again, it's not her fault, but like you have to consider risk factors here. If a girl has a loud mouth and she talks shit to a dude, maybe some dude doesn't even get handsy. He just like calls her some dumb name. He's drunk while passing by her and she's like, fuck you. The guy turns around. He's going to spark you up first. And then he's like, because guys are not going to spark up a girl, but if the girl's with a guy, they're going to say, the guy's the threat, fuck him up, and then like, I don't know. So it's a liability to go out with a girl because if the girl gets heated with another dude, then the dude's not going to spark her up, she's going to spark you up. So let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys watch MMA at all?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you know like the heavyweights? Like, do you know Brock Lesnar? Eric, can you find a picture of Brock Lesnar on the thing? So the question is, let's say you're out with your boyfriend and like some random dude disrespects you. Maybe he's drunk. Maybe he calls you a name. I'm sure you guys have had like experienced some obnoxious guy calls you some shit or whatever. Would you want your boyfriend to step up and say something to him or intervene?
Depends on what the guy looks like.
By the way, so Brock Lesnar, we'll come back to Brock Lesnar. You can hide it. Would you want your guy to intervene if some guy stepped to you and like said some rude comment to you?
No, unless he was getting like physical, then yeah, I would want my boyfriend to intervene.
What if like some dude, let's say you're holding hands, walking with your boyfriend, you're out like in IV in like a party, and like some dude like grabs your butt. Do you want your boyfriend to like say something to him?
I mean, I could say something to him. I don't really need my boyfriend to say something to him.
Okay. What about you?
Being single most of my life, I feel like I could do it myself.
Yeah, I feel like I would be.
But let's say you're with your boyfriend. Your boyfriend's holding your hand.
I would want both of us probably to say something.
Yeah, like if he wants to
I don't think I would put it just on him. I would say something, but like...
Sure.
If someone's getting physical, yes, I would like him to step in.
Okay. What about you?
Yeah, I think I could like take care of it myself.
Okay. What about you?
I'd want to be with someone who first attempted to de-escalate it, but then maybe did what was necessary. if it came down to it.
Sure. What about you?
I feel like if there was no reaction at all from my boyfriend, then that would be like a major red flag.
I appreciate the honesty, but I think that would be the case for a lot of women. If like the guy just kind of didn't say anything, you'd be like, "Yo, I'm your partner. Like, defend. Have my back.
Yeah.
What about you? You have a boyfriend, right? So
I do.
Put yourself in that situation.
I have been in that situation with him.
Okay.
Yeah, we were.
What happened?
So we don't go out often. It's just for group gatherings. Someone's moving away, whatever, birthdays. This one guy came up to me and kind of placed his hand around my waist while my boyfriend was literally right there. And granted, everyone was packed at the bar trying to get a drink, whatever. But my immediate reaction, no matter what, is to swipe someone's hand away because I don't like being touched personally. So I swiped his hand away. I looked at him. I looked at my boyfriend, and then my boyfriend's a scary motherfucker. All he had to do. I
saw photos on.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
He's jacked. Is he in the chat? Can we shout him out? W's in the chat for her boyfriend.
Luke.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, he's a scary motherfucker. All he had to do was look at him and kind of say what's up, and that was sorry.
Oh, what? Huh?
No, that's it.
That's what he
did. That's what he. Oh, my bad.
Oh, I thought you
were
apologizing to me.
A lot of the times that also is pretty shitty. They don't apologize to me. They apologize to my boyfriend. Bro, my bad, bro. I'm like, well, it is kind of lame. Like, I understand it's to save your ass from getting, beat, but I mean.
Liv, what about you?
Come on.
I feel like, if he didn't say anything, like, at all, gave no reaction, I'd kind of, like, look at him like, all right. But you don't, like, I'm not just talking about IV, but anywhere, you really don't know what to expect from some people. Like, they could have a knife on them. They could have, like, I don't think it should escalate more than it needs to. Say something, sure, but if it starts getting physical, then just...
Sure.
You don't want it to get that. Sure.
So you said that it would be a red flag, like, if your boyfriend didn't kind of intervene or, step up and do something, right? Maybe just show of hands, for the rest of you, would it be would you want your boyfriend, if some guy was disrespecting you, to like come to your defense?
Yeah, it would be nice.
Yeah.
I'd want him to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Acknowledge it.
Sure. Eric, can you pull up the Brock Lesnar thing? All right. So Brock Lesnar, I think he's like 6'4", Can you find his stats? His height and weight. He's a MMA fighter, heavyweight, and that guy says some disrespectful shit to you, and he's disrespectful, whatever. If your boyfriend doesn't just spark him up right away, like, do you lose attraction for your boyfriend?
No,
that's a big scary dude.
His safety is above all else in that situation as well.
Yeah, I'd be like, let's run, like, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. Height 6'3", 287 pounds. Yeah, that's going to be a rip for. Wait, Francis Ngannou. Can you get Francis Ngannou too, real quick? Do you know how to spell that, Eric? Francis Ngannou. Yeah. Okay. Francis Ngannou, heavyweight. I think he's a heavyweight in UFC. He steps to you. Images. 6'4", 258. Go ahead whenever you're ready, Eric. This guy. What about this guy?
Still probably.
Your 5'9". Your 5'9" emo boyfriend.
I like skinny boys. This is not a fight.
Okay. Point being, it's a liability to go out to bars anyways, because I see so many fights and just
even without girls.
Even without girls, like just going out with your boys, like, bro, people are drunk. Some guys go out looking for fights. I used to know like a couple guys. I wasn't like friends with them, but acquaintances that I knew, like they were just kind of aggressive guys that just went out and like at the slightest a guy accidentally bumps into him, boom, fucking, they're gonna beat him up. So be careful out there, guys. Me personally, I don't go to bars, clubs. I don't go to bars, clubs, parties. Not my thing. Okay, let's get these super chats.